Welcome, guys. Today I will be recapping a 2025 psychological horror thriller movie titled Freelance. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie opens with our protagonist, Katie, a freelance video editor who's basically living the millennial dream, being broke, desperate, and probably Googling how to make money online for the 5th day in a row. She's editing some highly sensitive footage, which sounds way more important than it probably is. Our girl Katie heads to a cafe with pocket change that wouldn't impress a vending machine. She orders a large coffee because apparently financial responsibility is for people with actual finances. The cashier breaks the devastating news. She's broker than a college student's piggy bank. Katie pulls the classic "I'm waiting for payment" move, which is basically adult talk for "my imaginary money is in the mail." The cashier, clearly having seen this tragic performance before, lets her take the coffee on credit because even caffeine dealers have hearts. Back home, Katie checks her mail like she's opening lottery results, only to find a paycheck that's smaller than her hopes and dreams. The amount is so disappointing, it makes her student loan balance look generous. Frustrated beyond belief, she visits her friend Beardy Guy, who casually drops the bomb that he applied for the same commercial job she auditioned for. Because nothing says friendship like secretly competing for the same gig while pretending to be supportive. Later that night, after a smelly hormone yoga session with Beardy Guy, Katie gets the email equivalent of a participation trophy. She didn't get the job. But wait, like a sketchy fairy godmother, a mysterious sender slides into her inbox offering $1,000 for editing a 2-minute video. This screams totally legitimate business opportunity, about as loudly as a Nigerian prince email. But Katie's bank account is speaking louder than her common sense. The mysterious client explains she'll get immediate payment, but must complete 4 more videos to get the rest. It's basically the streaming service model of human misery. Get you hooked with the first hit, then keep you trapped in the subscription. With bills stacking up like her bad life choices, Katie accepts faster than you can say red flag convention. Her landlord shows up like the ghost of rent past, reminding her he's been more patient than a saint, but even saints have mortgage payments. Katie lies to her mother about getting the commercial job because nothing says "I'm adulting successfully" like fictional employment. Her friend Kevin gives her the classic hang in there pep talk that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Later, a package arrives at her door containing a USB drive and a note that basically says, "Make the edits terrifying," which is either the world's worst motivational poster or foreshadowing that would make Stephen King proud. Katie plugs in the drive and discovers footage that makes horror movies look like Disney sing-alongs. We've got home invasion, a caged dog, bedroom break-ins, and strangulation. It's like a true crime podcast's greatest hits collection. Despite being more shaken than a Polaroid picture, Katie edits the video because rent waits for no one's moral crisis. She dozes off and wakes to find her cat lying still by the door, looking deader than her social life. Panicked, she rushes it to the vet who suggests illness or poisoning, but Katie insists her indoor cat is more sheltered than a rich parent's child. So with no money for overnight observation, she bolts. She visits Beardy Guy, who comforts her first with his muscles, then later with a smelly and sweaty hormone yoga session that ends in 2 minutes as expected, leaving her unsatisfied and disappointed in his comforting skills. The next morning, her cat goes full demon mode when she tries to pick it up, which is either poisoning side effects or just typical cat behavior. Then she gets a notification. $1,000 magically appears in her account, like the world's most disturbing direct deposit, followed by another package because this client has the delivery efficiency of Amazon Prime, but with significantly more murder. The second video features a man giving a philosophical rant about empathy before hanging himself, which is basically the most dramatic "I quit" notice ever recorded. Katie's stomach turns faster than her moral compass as she realizes this isn't just dark content. It's the real deal, more authentic than her Instagram posts. She immediately messages the client saying she's out, but her cat continues its impression of a furry demon, hissing like a deflating balloon. That night, she wakes to a flashlight in her face, gasps, and finds the light on the floor with no one around. Her computer starts playing the first clip she edited because apparently her tech is now possessed by the ghost of bad decisions. A camera appears, recording her like she's starring in the world's most traumatic reality show. She bolts upright, realizing her brain has been playing a cock and bull story. It's a nightmare. But her relief evaporates when the landlord cuts her electricity because even basic utilities are apparently luxury items now. Her mother calls asking for $500, turning Katie into a human ATM for the family. With options dwindling faster than her sanity, she messages the client, "I'll keep editing." Sometime later, we see Katie at the cafe. She finally pays her coffee debt like she's settling a peace treaty, then heads home to find more disturbing footage, this time featuring suffocation with a plastic bag because apparently the client's creativity is as dark as her future prospects. She edits, submits, and tries to sleep, but rest is as elusive as financial stability. The next project shows a camping couple getting attacked, which makes Friday the 13th look like a nature documentary. Katie forces herself to finish and hit send, then watches $4,000 appear in her account like blood money with excellent transfer speeds. She finally asks the client if the recordings are real, which is like asking if water is wet after you've already drowned. The client responds by offering more work, 5 more videos, because this nightmare has more sequels than a superhero franchise. Kevin excitedly tells her about a stable editing job that pays less but offers actual career prospects, which sounds about as appealing as a diet during the holidays when you're already starving. Kevin insists on watching her work videos, and his face goes paler than a vampire at a blood bank when he realizes they're too real to be fake. And to get over it, they engage in dirty tongue massage, but halfway through it, Katie suddenly remembers her windows were open and rushes out to find her cat. But it's vanished, like her hopes for a normal life. The landlord returns, banging on doors like he's auditioning for a horror movie, demanding rent with the persistence of a telemarketer while staring at her sexy body. Katie pays for 2 months, but he wants more, giving her a week's ultimatum that's about as flexible as concrete. Katie confronts Guy, admitting she only dated him for free meals, which is probably the most honest thing anyone said in a relationship since it's not you, it's me. She leaves cash under his door like she's paying for emotional damages. Another nightmare grips her, and she wakes to find her computer playing disturbing videos without her input, because apparently her laptop has developed a taste for brutal videos. She finds another package on her doorstep and collapses in tears, probably wondering how her life became a horror movie without the decent budget. Later, we see her attending the job interview Kevin arranged, but nerves turn her into a walking disaster. She knocks over water like she's auditioning for a slapstick comedy, and the interviewer's expression says it all. This opportunity is deader than the people in her editing projects. Desperation pushes her to text the client for more work, and they respond with 3 new clips faster than customer service on Black Friday. She notices the security camera outside her building is gone, probably bored watching her empty life, which is either suspicious or just typical urban decay, which is hard to tell these days. The new footage shows brutal attacks and poisoning that makes her previous work look like children's television. She takes it to police, but the detective dismisses it as staged with the enthusiasm of someone reviewing tax documents. Because apparently, real police work is as rare as her financial stability too. Kevin finds her and begs her to stop, but curiosity pulls at her like a toxic relationship she can't quit. She searches online for connections to missing persons, but finds nothing. Probably because Google's algorithm doesn't include videos from hell in its search results. The client messages that she's late, which is rich coming from someone whose business model involves murder footage. Katie desperately job hunts at local cafes, but every door closes faster than her window of opportunity. Then the client escalates things by sending videos of her mother, her brother engaging in hormone let-go exercise, and herself, proving they're not just watching her work, they're watching her life like the world's most invasive reality show. The vet calls to say her cat was poisoned, confirming that even pets aren't safe from this nightmare. Feeling trapped, Katie considers pulling her friend Olive into this mess by offering her editing work. Olive mentions she's pregnant, which hits Katie with guilt heavier than her student loans. She can't drag an expecting mother into this horror show. Desperate for money, Katie reaches out to an adult film manager for work, but even that goes sideways when she starts vomiting during the shoot simply because she was paired with a sexy lesbian. What an amateur. In shame, she rushes home to hear her cat meowing, and despite everything, like a drug addict with no choice, she texts the client, "I'll do it." The client coldly informs her she missed the deadline with all the warmth of a debt collector, but then offers a new job. She has to film something herself within 12 hours. It's like being promoted from editor to cameraman in Hell's production company. Katie visits Beardy Guy, secretly recording their interaction while contemplating how to knock him unconscious, which takes dinner and a movie to a whole different level. She grabs a sharp object and hides it, planning an attack that would make dinner dates everywhere more terrifying as she mounts him like a horse and rubs her dirty tongue all over his mouth. But Beardy Guy senses something's wrong and pushes her away like a Barbie toy when she gets too close to his throat with her unbrushed tongue. When he tries to get her to talk, she lunges with the weapon, but he overpowers her easily. She apologizes through tears and bolts, probably setting a new record for worst date ever. Katie runs to Kevin's place, spilling everything about surveillance, break-ins, and nightmares. Kevin tries to calm her and suggests she stay with him, but she notices a familiar lamp from one of the videos. Behind it, she discovers a hidden basement filled with photographs of terrified faces. It's like a serial killer's Pinterest board. She realizes this is the same room where the hanging video was filmed and asks Kevin the question that's been haunting her. How many people have been promoted to the afterlife and filmed here? Kevin finally confesses that he was forced to film the man self-deleting himself because he was threatened with his family's safety. He admits a casting producer pointed Katie out as the next target, and he passed the job to her without fully understanding the consequences. What a junkie. Katie's anger explodes faster than her patience, and she lashes out, blaming Kevin for her horror sitcom of a life. But he apologizes over and over again, but she's not listening to his smelly bullshit. As he pins her sexy body down while begging her, Katie slashes his throat with the weapon and diabetic blood splatters all over Katie's pretty face, because apparently friendship contracts don't include murder clauses. Back home, she reviews the footage she secretly recorded, having placed the camera when she entered Kevin's room. The client sends another message with a new job, her landlord. They provide proof that he's been the one leaving packages, poisoning her cat, and breaking into her apartment like a peeping Tom. Katie asks about payment, because even in murder for hire, salary negotiation is important. And that's where our tale of financial desperation, moral compromise, and really questionable career choices comes to an end. Katie went from struggling video editor to reluctant murderer faster than you can say gig economy, proving that sometimes the side hustle chooses you. That's it for this recap. Let's hope they don't make a sequel, because this shit show doesn't need an extension. This is the Mad Recaps movie channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.